Transition awareness breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition awareness breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hello, everyone, and today I have a special treat for you. We have a guest today for Transition Awareness Podcast. Today, I'll be interviewing Rozalia Ravitsky, and Rozalia is the owner, CEO of European Piano Academy, and correct me, is the playing by color also included in the name of your company, Rozalia?
Yes, PianoByColor program, special for little ones, yes.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. So tell me, Rozalia, tell us, because I know we've had an interview before a couple of years ago, but this is a brand new audience. And so tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me. I would love to spread the word about the school because the PianoByColor, it's amazing program. But I came to the country. I was teaching piano in Moldova. It was part of Romania. And was occupied by Soviet before World War II, so it was part of the Soviet Union. And we had a school for gifted and talented kids, and I was the head of the piano department there. And when I came to the country in '91, I started the school with kids and going since there. So it's almost 30 years.
So that's been a long time. So what prompted you to come to the United States and to start, your piano academy here?
It was the time, if you know, it's '91. It was the time when in the Soviet Union, different states, different republic won the independence, and it was a difficult situation. It was a war situation between the Russians and Moldavian, and we decided to come to America to give kids a better future.
So here you are in 1991.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is amazing. I mean, were you scared? I mean, how in the world, our program, I've talked to you before about transition awareness breathing, and we go over, how to calm ourselves down, and you've worked with my son quite a bit. But you're starting something brand new in a country that did you know the language of English or anything? How did you do that?
No, I didn't know the language. So I went to a preschool and asked to volunteer there or substitute there, and I was subbing there and start working there a little bit to learn the language. And after a few months, I opened my school. My first students was the kids of my preschool classes where I was working during the day. And when the school was finishing at 3 o'clock, I was start teaching piano. And this is how it started. And school started growing, words by mouth. I love to do what I love to do. I love kids. So I think it shows. And since there, I never professionally advertised. It was just word by mouth.
Word by mouth.
And I have a lot of my kids, yes.
And so you have 2 locations, is that right? And
now 3. Yes, now 3 locations.
Oh, 3. Tell me about that. I missed the third one. What happened? I know you have one in New York.
One in New York and one in San Antonio. I didn't count New York. In San Antonio, we are teaching at the synagogue Aguda Sahim, and yes, and we are teaching at the school named Keystone, and the main location is the Jewish Community Center.
Wow, you are busy. Wow.
Yes, and my house on the weekend, whatever was convenient for people, they will come. It doesn't matter. So it's basically 4 for different spaces they are occupied. Yeah.
Wow. So how important, and you're very dedicated to this, how important is music in young children's development? What's your
I
belief on
think
that?
it's little bit. I think it's so many articles written how important it is, but I think we still don't understand how much important in development the music is. Music is everything. The kids learning much better with music. They learn how to do different things, multitasking during the music time. Right and left brain, you can see immediately when it's developed. You can see how one hand works differently with another. It's I think the music still under understanding the importance of music. But during this quarantine time, I think people realize this more and more.
Really?
Yes, because we're
How
teaching.
so?
Because now the classes is coming from homes, and I'm teaching remotely, FaceTime and Zoom, and it's you working from the child development. The parents usually there, and parents see the beginning of the class and end of the class, and then every class leave something new with a child. So it's never class going just by starting and ending in the same place. You always learn something new. And parents recognize this and see the importance of it. So now most, like 99.9% of my students asking for summer classes. Wow. Because camps are closed. So they just want to continue. And it's understandable.
Sure.
Truly understandable. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I know, working with Zachariah. So let's talk about someone who's like really active. He's like night and day now. But many times is when I first started Zachariah with you, a lot of us parents, we just don't know. Sometimes some of us parents think that our child won't be able to concentrate. This is not for my child. And sometimes, we get kind of protective of our children because we know how to handle our children, but we're afraid to, kind of like bring our child out and let somebody else work with them. What kind of words would you say to a parent that was like me, a few years ago, who was kind of nervous?
Yeah. Just give us a chance to work with them. And you will see the result. I know each parent think they know their kids the best. And it's true. It's your child. You know him. You see him 24 hours. But our kids are surprising us all the time. And if they're in the right professional, it helps them bloom. So I know this because I have kids too, and my daughter is mothers, and they think they know the best. But when the child get to the very gifted and experienced teacher, the teachers open up something what the parents didn't know their kids can. But it takes time. It takes time, and it absolutely takes our job together.
Yeah.
It always takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And the teacher can't do it by themselves because it's only once a week. It's only 30 minutes. So we always need to work together.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed with you, Rozalia, as not only as a parent, but I noticed how positive you talk with all children.
I love them.
you talk. I mean, we want our children to be respected, and when I see you work with all children, I mean, you treat each child so individually, and I mean, they look at you with such admiration. That's what I see. I don't know
Thank you,
if
thank
you
you.
recognize
Yes,
that.
yes. I am the first one who they share with me their first crush when they're teenagers. The mom doesn't know, but I know.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like it's the biggest trust they have in me.
Mm.
And they always running to me to share with me their victories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important to me because it's my students, it's my kids, it's my love.
Yeah.
I love them. I know them. I know them. And all the kids growing differently.
Yeah.
Some of them looks maybe a little bit delay in their motions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them little bit delay in their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them little bit delay in their learning.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all with the right tools. We're all bringing them together. And then they're becoming all friends, and they in life they together they make something.
Yeah.
Each of them good in something, so it's
I mean,
important and it's beautiful.
You see them at different phases of their development. I mean, sometimes they'll come in and they did not have a good day at school, or sometimes you see them and they may have a really great day at school, but they're just off. They're tired by the time they get to see you. How do you do that? How do you pull the best out of your the students?
I see this and I respect this, and I talk to them with respect. And when the day it's not good, sometimes we don't have a good day, but I just tell them, look, I totally understand, but you're here and I am here and you came, so let's just work a little bit together. And by the end of the class, we'll talk about it. But right now, let's concentrate. Maybe it will help. And many different tools I have to kind of change them. Sometimes I need to be very direct and very strict, and they're getting this. And some of them like for me to be a little silly and let them feel like they're the one who's taking the lead.
Yeah.
And I let them feel this. Why not? Yes. So it's many different things we have after teaching for so many years and after like what we do. But I try each class for them to make a little step up on their long journey.
That is so important because then they have a sense of achievement.
Exactly. This is why the recital is important. For them to have a celebration. So now I'm really thinking to do Zoom recital.
Oh my goodness!
I do want to do Zoom recital, yes. And the lady just sent me the article. It came yesterday in New York Times. How one lady who is 90-year-old music teacher from the same place, from Romania. She came, but probably earlier than me, before I was born. And she's 90-year-old now, and she has the same belief. Like the kids need to have the same structure. It doesn't matter what's happened around. We need to do it. So I'm thinking about it. Yes, I want them to feel like they're accomplished.
Yes. I mean, because when you take a child, when you start with working with them, you don't start with them reading music, do you?
Depends on the age. Yes. No, they don't need to start learning music in the first class because it's very frustrating for them. I want to show them how they can accomplish the song in the first class. So they will feel like they can do it. This is how I develop PianoByColor. It's not a complete program. It's just a tool for their self-esteem. They all learn the notes. They all learn how to play with all fingers. It's all classic bass. We're all doing the same things. But we're starting with a color for the young one to give them a sense of accomplishment. And with the sense of accomplishment, we give them everything what they need to learn.
So they don't have to be nervous about, I'm going to have to. read notes, or the parents don't have to be nervous.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. No nervous in the piano class. Not for parents, not for the students.
Mm-hmm.
If they know what they do, why do they need me?
Yeah. That's the point.
So I want them to come with many questions, but they will have questions when they start learning. And the piano, it's very intimidating when you have this full line of black and white keys and they don't know what to do, if they want to do this appropriate. When they're little, they just bumping on the keys. Yeah. But to learn something, they're a little bit scared, and I understand. So I make them 5 colors, 5 notes, 5 fingers, and this is how they're learning. And it's a beautiful, beautiful tool for them to accomplish this. And during this accomplishment, they're in the same time learning notes and learning counting and learning rhythm and learning how to put the hands together, everything coming together.
This is more than learning piano. It's more than that, to me.
You're absolutely right. They're coming to the class, to a face-to-face class with the teacher. So they learn from the teacher's view to the world, the teacher's view to them. They see how I treat them, and it teaches them how they should treat another people. And if they respect me, they will respect somebody else because I respect them like a human individual. And if they're having a good time and they see I am very supportive, then they looking forward to come back.
It's almost like you're, even in preschool, they're getting used to socialization and they're getting used to different routines. But like in piano, it's like their first extracurricular activity almost,
It is very important extracurricular activities because it's only one class they're doing face-to-face. All in other activities, it doesn't matter what school they're going, private school or public school, a school, everything they do in the group, big groups, small groups. Only in piano, you are face-to-face to the teacher. So it's very important for a teacher to understand who's in front of him and take the best from this person. And you're teaching them many different things. And it's important how they come. It's very important first, hello. It's very important if they want to share with you what's happened at school. If they run to you, when they cry around to me and tell me it was something great, it's very important to me. And when you said he didn't have a good day, I understand. I have a child who's a little bit not in his best half today. So I'm working accordingly, slowly, little by little, not to upset him. But then he forgets about everything. And by the end of the class, he doesn't want to leave.
That's true. I do notice when you start your class, you do have some talk time with the children before you start practicing most of the time. I do notice that too.
Yes. It's a few words just to bring them on the same level with you. Yes, it needs to be respect, and you need to teach them sometimes. Some kids coming with gum in their mouths, and first of all, it's disrespectful. Second of all, it's slowing them down. So I always said, do you have a gum for me? If you will give me gum, then they both will be slowing down. And they will be on the same page. But here, I'm trying to make something of the class, and you are in the very chewy, slowy mood. So how about if you will keep this gum for a little bit later, and now let's just make something beautiful in our class, and then you will be relaxed again.
So it's like you don't say you cannot have the gum. You say save it for later.
Of course.
That is very, very. That's very important.
It's, of course, it's a good, it's a relaxation time. When you chewing the gum, you're kind of trying to relax. So I don't want to be taking something from me. Like if I'm drinking coffee, I don't want somebody to take my coffee. I don't mind if they said, can you put this coffee for a little bit later because it's hot and it can burn the person who you're talking to or something, or the kids around. So it's understandable. Yes, of course. No, I don't want to take anything from them. I want to give them as much as I can.
And it teaches that sometimes we have to stop one thing to start another thing. And it's not always about no. With children of, like they have ADHD, many times they do have a lot of negative self-talk because their world is full of no's, and so they tend to be a bit negative and not sure of themselves. So I don't know if you noticed that. Yes.
We can't restrict. Do you know how we said you can have everything, but only in the different times.
You can have everything only at a different time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's just not right now.
Yeah.
So, you came to my class. Let me tell you what we will do today. And then when we're stepping out, you will tell me what you're thinking to do today. And this is how it goes.
I want to touch base on a couple other things before I let you go. So, Rozalia, how much do you think music, whether it's piano or any other instrument, how much do you think that has to do with relaxation? Or doesn't have anything to do with relaxation? Because, you can relax different ways. Is music that important?
Do you know, I think this is a little mystery here about relaxation. Whatever we know how to do good relaxed us. Like if we learn in our age to play tennis, during life, we are going sometimes just to play, to enjoy. But we learn through the classes how to do this. Piano, it's very important. Piano really relaxes you more than anything else, only when you know how to play. So my point is, all the young age, we should spend to learn the most beautiful hobby for life. When we are coming to the certain level, this is when we are enjoying. Like our kids, they're working on the piece so hard. And when the piece is ready for recital, when the piece are ready, this is the time for them to enjoy. And this is when they can sit down and play for you and for family and enjoy.
So it's like a process.
It's a process to learn, exactly. And you go to another level. The higher you go, the more enjoyment you will have. And then we're teaching, this last few years, we have a lot of adults in their 40s and 50s who we're teaching. And we have a lot of medical doctors who's taking piano classes for relaxation. They played before when they were kids. They thought they don't remember anything. But when the classes start, they're enjoying so much. And it's completely different mindset. I have one mom who said, I don't know, I want to complain, but maybe it's not a complaining. She said, since my husband started working with you, he put the piano, he reorganized garage. And he put the piano there. So sometimes, and he's working in the very hard medical field. And his work, it's very, very tense. So she said, when he comes home through garage and spending 30, 40 minutes playing.
So
then he's
piano,
ready to come in. Yes.
so it's not just for children. It's
Of
not.
course not. Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
Children is the best time to give them something for their life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had a person who I played tennis with,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, I got the injury, and now I can't play any sports.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when we played tennis and you told me let's take piano classes, I should listen to you. Now I will have the best hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And now he said I can't. So on many different ways, it's the best things. Of course, I truly believe in that.
Wow.
But go ahead.
I was just thinking, things have gotten a bit stressful. I've heard a lot of people from different places, talking about how stressful things are for them. And so, the interest in adults getting into piano is kind of, it's interesting to me. I didn't even think about, adults wanting to come back to piano. Just kind of thinking that, it's mostly children, or we want our children to play piano so they can, be good at math or just know an instrument. But
Of course,
yeah,
it's many. It's not one negative thing about
it just takes
it.
time.
It just takes time. It's only positive. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And you will not find one person who stopped playing piano and later didn't complain about it. Why my parents didn't push me to do it? So yes, I face this all the time, and I'm trying to explain to the parents, we just need to continue. We just need to be supportive. And I understand kids when they said we don't want to do it, because it's not a sport when you're with your with the same age friends.
yes,
You are one-on-one with adult. So
yes,
it's a very sophisticated work.
yeah. And I think
But
I think that's important for children, is to learn how to communicate with adults, especially, and I'm talking about also a lot about teenagers, because they're entering a certain different phase in their lives, going to high school or college, and being able to communicate with adults.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
piano teacher, it's always ready to listen you. At school, when they want to make a connection with a teacher at school, it's not easy, because they have 40 kids, 30, 40 kids on them.
Yeah.
And here, you're coming, and all the time and all the attention teacher has, it's for you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I certainly appreciate all your time, Rozalia. We may have gone over, and I apologize, but I do appreciate your time and everything that you shared. I think it's an amazing thing. You came from that at that time Soviet environment. You branched out here in 1991. You started learning English. I mean, that must have been so, there has to be something that says, I have to do this inside of you, and not say, well, this is too hard, I can't do this. But you were driven, that love of your mission. It seems like it was the mission of teaching children piano. You knew what
Absolutely.
You knew what the what the benefit was, and so I just admire you and your brother, who is also a piano teacher.
Yes, absolutely.
I just think that is so awesome. We
are very fortunate to be able to recognized by so many students and so many parents, and have a village of the our grown kids together and all. It's all my life. I'm really fortunate to have this. Yeah.
You have a wall in your studio of
Yes.
all your students, and
It's probably a third of my students.
oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
And some of those
Just,
students
yes.
are like doctors and
Yes.
gone
of
on
course.
to do other things. I mean, I look at that
Yes.
wall. I haven't seen it in a while because we've been in quarantine, but it's amazing.
I love this wall. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I have a picture. If you want, I can send you.
Oh, yeah, sure. I will put it on my website. And
Oh, sure.
yeah, I want to invite anyone who's listening. If you have any questions, just tune into my website, and it's h2ftrreader.com, and I'll put your picture on the website, Rozalia, and people can come and visit. And if they have any questions, I'll let you know, and you can answer them, or however we can get in touch with Rozalia. How about that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm gonna
love you and see you next week. Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.